Previously.
What on earth? How'd this get here? Huh. Bubble wrap. That's all that looks like that's in here, honestly. Wait. Hold on, there is something in here. Oh my gosh.
And now, our story continues. And done.
Finally, the script is finished. And with only a couple revisions to it. Alright. Let's go. Hello everyone, UseFlunge11 here, and yeah, let's just say there's been a bit of revisions to, I want to say layout, but it's not a layout at all, it's just a set table with where I build sets on, but yeah, we're kind of back into the original position I was when I did, I think the last review I did in this type of area was like the Winter Caboose review. That was a fun one, but man, is the audio inconsistent in that one. Anyway, yeah, so we're kind of back to this. Quick explanation over. But however, yeah, I'm back again for another review, and this one is very, very special. So, well, I'm going to tell you guys, but I think it might be smarter if I show you. So, today, we are going to be reviewing this. That's right, everyone. What you see here is the white-faced Troublesome truck itself. And today, I have the honor and pleasure to do a review on it. But before we start this review, there's something I gotta do first. That's better. Yeah, got a shirt to go with it as well. Yeah, that just goes to show I am not playing around here today. So, without further ado, let's start this review.
Now, I think it's safe to say that I am not the first person who's reviewed the white-faced Troublesome truck. I mean, Keyhare24, also known as Thomas Wind Railway, has done a discussion on the whiteface. Flying Scott Films, or Dax, has done a review on the whiteface. Even though he didn't write it himself, that lazy even more well-known people like Ted Oliver Duck has reviewed 2 whitefaces because he got both of them for $5 each at a garage sale. Of course, he ended up giving one of them up to Hero the Japanese Train. I'm not gonna lie, if I had 2 whitefaces, I don't think I'd really do that. But as long as he gets to own the whiteface too, I applaud Ted for that. Not to mention, they did a pretty good trade. And don't get me started about Wooden Railway reviews. Not only does he have the whiteface, but he got Roy Wilson, the Roy Wilson, to sign it as well.
However, I'm not here to talk about people who have reviewed the white-faced Troublesome truck. I'm here to actually review the item in question itself. So, without further ado, now let's actually get started.
Now, of course, the white-faced Troublesome truck has quite an interesting history to it, so I'll try to explain it as best I can, although I will admit I'm going to be pulling information from other sources in order to craft a full narrative of this item. Apparently, the white-faced Troublesome truck was first introduced in 1993, and it was supposed to be a test model of sorts, but it would be later come what the Troublesome trucks were supposed to look like. But due to it being too expensive, they decided to scrap the model and replace it with what we all know as the gray-faced Troublesome truck. Although the thing with this item is, when you look on the Wooden Railway wiki for the gray-faced Troublesome truck, it listed it as the 1993 prototype. And it is also listed as, and I quote, the third 1993 Troublesome truck. which in a way makes the information about the whiteface kinda confusing at a first glance. Everyone thought that this item was not supposed to really see the light of day, but however, according to the interview that Wooden Railway Reviews did with Roy Wilson, this item was actually a legitimate product, but it was only meant to be a test run. But either way, they slipped through the cracks and were accidentally shipped out to stores in New York. Normally, any type of wooden railway toy that is usually produced is produced by the thousands, but according to Roy Wilson, there was only 100 to 200 of these ever made, which means there's really not many of them out there, at least the ones that haven't been found already, and because of this, they are price gouged to the max. This is really like the Tommy Oliver situation in Tommy Trackmaster, except with Wooden Railway. Frankly, I've never understood why Tommy Oliver goes up for so much, as you can literally find him anywhere. The same goes with the whiteface, but still, it's way more expensive. Now don't get me wrong, there are other rare items such as Metallic James and Hero, and the German Milch Tanker, to name a few. And there are also rare items in other ranges such as Bandai Diesel 10, Hornby Murdoch, the Crossface Gordon, and Tommy Trackmaster, to name a few of those. But the whiteface definitely takes the top spot in terms of Wooden Railway. Now, let's actually review this thing. The first thing I'll say is that I absolutely love the shade of gray on this thing. The color alone basically tells you that you have a whiteface and not just a normal Troublesome truck. Then again, there are some different shades of the gray Troublesome truck that can resemble a whiteface. That's why people have made some customs of it. But I will say it has a unique shade of color and is quite simplistic, basically like the rest of the models around this time. A lot of people say that the whiteface looks better, and personally I agree with that, although that doesn't mean the gray face Troublesome truck should be forgotten either, because when you get a bunch of these things together, it can make a pretty cool train. But other than that, the other thing that tells you that it's a whiteface is, well, the face. The face is the exact same face as the Troublesome brake van, but of course it obviously has the body of the gray face. That's what made owning the gray face Troublesome truck and the Troublesome brake van so special to me. I didn't think I'd ever get my hands on the white face, so having the body of the gray face plus the Troublesome brake van, which had the face, meant that it felt like I had a white face, even though I really didn't. Other than that, all I can say is that it has flat magnets, flat wheels, and of course obviously the staples on the bottom.
And as the old saying goes, the rest is history. So, that's basically my review of the whiteface Troublesome truck, but the question is, how on earth did I get my hands on one of these things?
It was the end of May, early June, and my computer was on the fritz, so I had to order a new computer fan for it. Normally, I use my computer to look at eBay, but since my computer didn't really want to cooperate, I had to look at eBay on my phone, which, you know, is what I did before I got my computer in the first place. But anyway, if you're a TWR user like me, you'll likely have a lot of TWR stuff in your shopping cart, with a few other various things. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only person who had a whiteface Troublesome truck in their shopping cart. I stared at it, wondering if I'd ever get my hands on one. And then I looked at the person who was selling it, and it was Flying Scott Films, aka Dax. Once I saw that he was the one selling it, I immediately rushed to his DMs and convinced him to lower the price, so I could buy it off of him. Originally, my plan was to pay half of what he was selling for it, which was $620, as seen here. I was wanting to pay $320, but he said the lowest he could go was $500, and it was at that moment that I had to make a choice. Now, I'll let everyone draw their own conclusions, but basically what I'll say is that, while I did screw myself over, I think it was worth it. Truth be told, it did come with a glass case, which I generally am thankful for, and a piece of track to put on it. Now, in the photo, it was originally clicky-clack track, but instead I have a traction rail piece instead. But personally, I guess I really don't care that much, but I do want to get my hands on some clicky-clack track in the future.
So, in a way, the way I acquired this item is definitely not as interesting as, say, Thomas Wooden Railway or Hero the Japanese Train or even Ted Oliver Duck. But, you know, despite the story not being interesting, the fact that I actually got one is already interesting enough to me in general. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to go off script here as, you know, now, I do write a script for these things, but not all the time. Mainly just the review portions, but I'm going off script to say this. So, I'm very much happy to get my hands on a white-faced troublesome truck. It's been one of the items on my list to get for a pretty long time now. But I want to say, just because I have a white-faced troublesome truck, and even a t-shirt that represents that I have a white-faced troublesome truck, just because I have these things does not make me better than anyone else. I mean, I also have a flip-faced Toby that kind of sits close to my bed just because it's one of those cooler items. And while that is a rare item in Tomy Trackmaster, just because I have one of those does not make me better than any Tomy Trackmaster user. And the same thing goes for everyone who has a Tomy Oliver. I don't have a Tomy Oliver. I really hope to get my hands on one. But just because other people have a Tomy Oliver doesn't make them better than me. No one is better than anyone else in terms of rarity of items. I mean, like, if you're gonna base, if you want to be better than someone, then just be a good person. Like, that's the best way I can put this. Like, it doesn't matter what items you have, as a lot of us in the fandom, depending on what era of the fandom you're in terms of merchandise, we all basically have the exact same items. Customs are a different story, but that depends, your style. But yeah, just because I have a white face, I'm not better than anyone else. Like my friend Chase, Tom Smallingen, ever since I've shown the white face to him, he's extremely jealous that I have one. But he's also happy that I got one in the first place. And as you saw earlier, that custom white face was actually his, as I got to see that in 2021 at the Entertainment Junction meetup. And even though he doesn't have a white face and I do, does not make me better than him. I'm not better than my other friends such as Sudrian or Wooden Fan 1. We are all on the exact same level. Doesn't matter what I have. While this may be the rarest item in Wooden Railway, it's a block of wood placed on another block of wood with metal things at each end and plastic wheels, as well as metal bogies to boot. Very simplistic detail, and a printed-on face. So, rare? Yes, but you gotta look further through that. I mean, in reality, it's the exact same basis as the gray face. Something else I want to say is that, there are going to be people that are going to have also just as rare items. I mean, I know James is in possession of the metallic James, and my friend Chase, Tom Smallingen, while he may not have a white face, he owns the German Milch Tanker, which a part of me kind of starts to wonder if that's even more rare than the white face, honestly. But even still, just because they have those items doesn't make them better than me, or me having this making them, it's a two-way street. Or as a clever enterprising engine episode once told me, this too shall pass. So, it's a two-way street and vice versa. So yeah, that's kind of all I really wanted to say. I hope this I guess epilogue wasn't too confusing. Doesn't matter what you have. I mean, it's basically just, it's all, at the end of the day, these are just toys. And while, yeah, these are toys that help us as creators tell a story, I may be keeping this thing in the plastic case, far away from my other Wooden Railway items, but I gotta remember it's just a toy, which deserves to be used, and I hope to use it a lot in my videos as a sort of Easter egg of sorts. And while, this thing, me having it brings me joy, it doesn't bring me true happiness. This is just, it's something material that doesn't really, it has significance, but the value in terms of, it doesn't make me 100% happy? No. So, I just wanted to make that clear here today, as I feel like it was just something that needed to be said, because, in the world that we live in, life is competitive, and it's all about what you have nowadays, or what you don't have. And while I may have paid $500 for, this block of wood on another block of wood, etc., you get the gist. even though I paid $500 for that and I'm happy to have it, I still have a lot of my collection I want to complete before I consider myself done collecting Thomas merchandise. So yeah, I guess that's just all I really wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching this review. This one was, I want to say, monumental for me, and I'm really happy that, I was able to make it. And while my set table may be an absolute mess, I've already filmed the footage for this thing anyway, so, I kind of win there. Anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit too much, but just take something away from this video. I mean, you can't have it all. But hey, we can all have something in common, and that's this little blue train right here. So guys, without further ado, Useful Engine 11, signing out. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all in the next review. Or next video, whichever comes first. Okay, see ya. Well, I did it. I reviewed the rarest item in the Thomas Wooden Railway range. Man, this has to be one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever done. Well, I've had a few in the past, but, as time goes on, you achieve more, I guess. But if there's one thing I haven't achieved yet, it's still finding that stupid lamp. I know I've been searching for a while, but heck, I guess if I didn't run into this white face, I could have gone and looked for it a little bit sooner, but although I've realized something, though. I already have had a Baja Blast can in my collection for quite a while now. The TARDIS was given to me by Chase. I found the lamp a while back, and now I stumble upon a white-faced Troublesome truck. That is too much to be, convenient. If anything, I just reviewed an artifact, actually. So, I've realized something. I need to go and search to the end of the earth and back just to find this lamp. And you know what? That's what I'm going to do. Well, here we go again.
Oh, bother. I've been, what feels like all over the world today, and yet I haven't been able to find the stupid lamp anywhere. What if it is gone forever? To think, I've had that thing for a couple of years now, and all of a sudden just to lose it like that? Absolute rubbish, that's what it is. Well, can't say I didn't, try. And even during the times where I thought it was all over, I haven't given up yet. But I think I might have to admit defeat now. Oh well. Well, anyway, once again, it's another late evening, and I should probably get inside. After all, fall's upon us, and it's getting a little bit colder out. Oh well. I shouldn't really sit around and mope, I guess. I guess I better get in... Wait a minute. What on earth is that over there? That looks bright. Is it? It can't be. It just can't be. Wait a minute. It is. It's the lamp. I found... Wait a minute. Why do I have a sudden feeling of deja vu? This lamp. I mean, while this wasn't the exact spot I found it, this is eerily familiar. I can't believe that I've actually found it. Whoa. I guess this lamp is magic after all. It's actually the Lego lamp now. Here, maybe I can turn this thing off. Oh, there we go. Well, I certainly gotta make sure this doesn't fall into the wrong hands. I'm keeping this right in my pocket where it belongs. Well, I can't believe it. I've actually found the lamp. I gotta add this to the briefcase that I have.